Welcome back to the channel. Today we are here to talk about the pros and the cons of living in Hemet, California. I'm going to tell you the good and the bad about living here, help you make the decision to whether this is the right place for you to call home or not. I want to give you both sides of the story, so stay tuned. Let's get to it. Hey guys, I'm Andrew Lewis, your local Temecula Valley Realtor, and this channel is dedicated to all things living in the Temecula Valley, from new construction tours to neighborhood spotlights to new things coming here to the Valley. I want you and your family to know exactly what it's like living here before you make the move. Thanks for tuning in. Let's get to it. So here we go. We are going to get into 7 pros and 5 cons to living in Hemet, California. And so maybe that says something, maybe that says there's the pros more outweigh the cons, but I will leave that to you to determine. So let me work through these one by one for you, tell you all the good, then we'll move on to those cons or things to consider, and we'll get to it. Pro number 1 to living in Hemet, California is the affordability. So we talk all the time about living in the Temecula Valley being incredibly affordable for Southern California. Well, Hemet is even more affordable than the rest of the Temecula Valley. So that means it's a great place to get in pretty inexpensively compared to the rest of California. So the Temecula average price point, just to give you an idea, the average price point in Temecula right now is $870,000. Now, in comparison, the average price point in Hemet is $421,000 currently, meaning about a $450,000 difference in home prices, and the locations are really only about 20 to 30 minutes away from each other. So being just a little bit further inland gives you a super affordable home price, and so that's why a lot of people choose to relocate to Hemet. Pro number 2 is the natural outdoor beauty and outdoor activities. So Southern California is known for over 270 bright sunshiny days a year. It means the weather is great, and it is a great opportunity to get outdoors and enjoy the outdoors here. So with the amazing weather, you want to make sure you're living in a place that accommodates some of those outdoor activities. Now, landscape wise, when you live in Hemet, you're nestled right up against the San Jacinto Mountains, and so you've got a really great view off to there. And then on top of that, you've got outdoor activities. You've got Diamond Valley Lake. There's local hiking and biking trails all over the place. And so if you like to be outdoors, there's a lot of recreation for you to do. There's also Lake Paris, which isn't too far. You've got Lake Elsinore, which isn't too far. You've got a lot of options to just be outdoors and enjoy what this area has to offer. Pro number 3 are all the local healthcare facilities living in Hemet. Hemet was originally designed to be a retirement community, and so healthcare was super important to the area, and so it's going to offer a lot. It's home to Hemet Global Medical Center, as well as over 50 assisted living facilities. So if you yourself are aging, or you have some family members that are aging that maybe would move along with you, it's got a lot of options on the assisted living side, as well as some pretty quick medical care. Now, if you're looking for major surgeries or specialists or things like that, Hemet does offer some of that, but a lot of people do end up commuting down into San Diego or up north to Loma Linda for some of those type procedures. But overall, your general stuff, your ER, your emergencies, your general practitioners, all of that are going to be really local to Hemet. Reason number 4 is the amazing weather. So as I shared, 270 days or more per year of good weather. Bright sunshine, outdoor Southern California living, and the good news with our area here is that we have dry summers. They do get warm. You're going to see stretches over 100 degrees throughout summer, stretches of maybe 5-6 days of over 100 degrees, and then it'll cool off. The average temperature in Hemet being right around 95 degrees in summer. But the really great news is that it always cools off in the evenings. So while it may be over 100 degrees during the day, you can expect it to cool down into the 60s and 70s at night, making it really nice to be able to open those windows at night, enjoy some fresh air inside the home, and keep the home cool without having to deal with all of the heat like you're living in Arizona. Number 5 is a growing economy and business opportunities. So the area has kind of been re-stimulated recently, and Hemet itself as the city is really pushing for some growth business-wise in the area. Incentives are being offered, and it's starting to attract people. The price point is amazing, and that's what brings people to the area. And now they're trying to bring in some additional support, things like retail centers, shopping, restaurants, new businesses, incentivizing some of those to move into the area so maybe you don't have to commute for work, which is a huge pro to the area. So there's a lot of opportunity there as the population continues to grow. And as I mentioned, the area is just kind of being revitalized. It was stagnant for a long time, and new construction has come in. And so a lot of areas are being newly developed and bringing in new residents and new homes and more money, more tax dollars in order to continue to develop the city. And so, an area that maybe didn't see a whole lot of growth for about a 20-30 year stint is now seeing a new wave of growth coming with all of the new construction. And that construction is just happening because people are being pushed out of Murrieta and Temecula and being priced out of those areas and pushed a little bit further north, which puts them into Hemet. And that's why we're seeing things grow very quickly here in the area. Pro number 6 is that it's an active adult retirement community. As I mentioned, that is really one of the things that Hemet was built for. It was actually intended to be the premier retirement place in the United States. A fun fact that I always share with clients is that Hemet at one point, one of the streets there actually housed more money than Wall Street. There was more money in the banks there than on Wall Street, and that's because people knew Hemet was up and coming to be the new premier retirement community, and they were putting all their retirement funds in the banks in Hemet in preparation for that move. Well, it didn't turn out exactly as things had planned, and all the money was pulled out of there, and then that's where that kind of stale period of Hemet's history took place, but now there's more coming in and building that up. But Hemet remains to be a retirement community with lots to do. There are golf and recreational clubs and outdoor activities for seniors, lots of 55+ communities to, some gated communities, some not. There's 4 seasons. There's lots of options for you if you're 55+ and you're looking for somewhere to kind of plant some more permanent roots for the long haul on things. And so it's a really great community if you fit that age bracket as well. Pro number 7 is the proximity to major cities. And that's what attracts people here. You hear me say it all the time on our channel here about the Temecula Valley, is people move here because we're pretty centrally located to just about everything. No, we don't have a gigantic downtown like LA or San Diego, the vibrant nightlife, all the major sports teams and concerts and all of those things here in our area, but we can drive there. And everything, it feels like, I say it all the time, and yes, I get bashed here and there of like, it's actually more than an hour, but I say it all the time, you're just about an hour from anywhere you want to go. If you want to be in the desert, you can be there in an hour, enjoying golf in Palm Springs. If you want to be at the beach, you can be there in a little over an hour, surfing, riding waves, soaking up the sun. If you want to be in the mountains, a little over an hour. You can be skiing or snowboarding up in the mountains or enjoying local lakes. Everything you're looking to get to is just an hour away. San Diego, a little over an hour if you want to go catch a major league sports team or a major concert, or San Diego, LA. You're just over an hour to each one of those things. So a really great central location if you're okay with those drives to accommodate for the price point, because of course, $400,000 being the average price point in Hemet, you're not getting anything in LA, San Diego, or Orange County for that. So if you're okay with the price point, or if you're okay with the drive, the price point is really amazing in Hemet with the central location. Now let's move on to the cons, or some things that you should consider. I'm not here to bash on the area, but I want to give you the real truth before you make the move and before you make a trip out here to visit with us and go tour some homes and check out the area like a lot of our clients here on the channel do. So con number 1 is the warm summers. I already mentioned it. They're gonna get hot. You're going to have stretches up over 100 degrees during the summer, the average temperature being right around 95 degrees during the summer. So if you're coming from somewhere else and you're used to much more mild summers, Hemet's not the place for you. It's gonna be hot, it's gonna be warm. There's not much you can do about it. Now on the pro side, it always cools down at night, as I mentioned, that makes it really great. But if you just can't stand the heat, you're gonna wanna be careful there. Now, of course, there are things you can do to combat the heat, obviously staying inside. We've got air conditioning, which is great, and lots of indoor activities. Again, even if you're, in some of those 55+ communities that Hemet offers, there's lots of, indoor recreation stuff as well to keep you cool during some of those warm summers. Con number 2 is going to be the limited dining and entertainment options. Hemet's just not known for either of those two. So you're not going to find the fanciest of restaurants in Hemet. You're not going to find the major concerts happening in Hemet, or a comedian coming to Hemet, or any major shows happening in Hemet. I already said it, you're likely going to be driving to LA or San Diego for that major entertainment. Sometimes down into Temecula, you might even get some of that within a 30-minute radius of what you're looking at. But outside of that, it's gonna be a little bit longer commute. On the fine dining side of things, there are plenty of good restaurants in Hemet. I'm not gonna bash on that. But if you're looking for the most amazing steakhouse, my opinion is it's not in Hemet. You're gonna drive maybe to Temecula for something like that, or again, even further into San Diego if you're looking to even elevate it even more. And so you're not gonna have a lot of those fine dining options. Tons of food, tons of restaurants there, but just mediocre food if I'm being honest in my opinion. Con number 3 is the traffic and infrastructure strain on Hemet. There's really one major way in and one major way out of Hemet. If you are looking to get on one of the major freeways to get you in or out of the area, you're gonna be taking one road to get there. And it does get backed up, and it does have accidents and things that will back you up along the way. So being in Hemet location-wise, I said it's a great central location of things, but if you're a commuter, it's a little bit harder. You could be 30 minutes from the freeway in some parts of Hemet. You could be, as short as 20 minutes away, but you basically have to drive through Menifee to get yourself connected to the 215 freeway, which will take you north or south, north up into Riverside, south down into San Diego. And so you're gonna have to take Dominigoni, which turns into Newport Road, and then hits the 215 freeway, and you're gonna have to drive through Menifee, through Hemet, and then through Menifee to get to that freeway, and that makes things tough. The side streets can get packed from time to time, especially as things are growing very quickly here in the area. So the infrastructure has not been able to keep up. So traffic will get a little bit annoying, but it's just something to weigh out before you make the move. Now on top of that, for number 4, I'm gonna add this. I almost made it the same category as the previous, but I did want to touch on it as well. Number 4 is commute challenges. So if you are living in Hemet, you're likely not gonna be working locally. There are a lot of businesses coming into the area, things are developing, but some of the bigger jobs that you may land, outside of, law enforcement, fire, healthcare, local teaching jobs, some of those things, or local retail shops, anything outside of that, you're probably going to be commuting, and you're probably going to commute down to San Diego, into LA, into Orange County, up into Riverside. And in some spots, I said you're gonna be anywhere from 20 to 30 or more minutes away from just getting to the freeway. And then you gotta deal with all of the freeway traffic that I talk about in some of our videos about Menifee and Murrieta and Temecula. You gotta take 20 to 30 minutes even to get into that first, and then you're sitting in that traffic. So if you're a commuter, Hemet, super affordable, but it's gonna be an additional 20 to 30 minutes to your commute, depending on where you're going. And that doesn't even factor in the freeway traffic that you're going to experience once you get on the 215 or the 15 freeway. So it's going to take you a little bit longer. Some people trade that off for the larger homes that you can purchase there at a super affordable price, and they're okay with that commute, but certainly something to factor in. Last but not least, con number 5 to consider. The educational school system rankings. So from watching this channel, we use greatschools.org to rank all of the schools that we talk about here in the area. And most of the Temecula Valley actually sees scores about 7 or better out of 10. The Hemet area, the schools typically fall underneath that. You're not likely to see 9 or 10 out of 10 here in Hemet. You're going to see much lower schools. And so there hasn't been a ton of tax revenue to continue to help those grow. Although the scores are low right now, and I would encourage you, to check out greatschools.org specifically to check out the schools that you might be assigned to living inside of Hemet. But the scores are gonna be a little bit lower, but I do think on the encouraging side of things, it's going to get better. So tax dollars bring in tax money for schools, revenue for schools that they can use to improve things, hire more teachers, bring in more technology, all of that kind of stuff. Hemet had that lull period where there just wasn't a ton of growth. And so tax dollars were what tax dollars were, and they had the budget to work with it. They had the budget to work with. But now with new construction coming to the area and growing things very quickly, we're starting to see some of that tax revenue increase. And I do think those schools are going to improve over time. It's just gonna take some time. So if you're looking to move in right away and enter into a fantastic school, it's gonna be something you're gonna want to weigh out a little bit. If you've got some time, you don't have kids yet, or maybe your kids are young and you're like, hey, I'm really hoping that, the middle school, high school ages, the schools are gonna be better. I think there's hope for you there, but it's just not there right now. So absolutely something for you to weigh out before bringing your family and putting them in the school system here. All right, so that is it for our pros and cons of living in Hemet, California. I wanted to give you the honest truth on the good and the bad, give you stuff to weigh out, some things for you to wrestle with before choosing to call this area home. Thank you so much for tuning in today. I hope you enjoyed today's content. If you're thinking about moving to Hemet, or you're thinking about moving somewhere in the Temecula Valley, feel free to reach out to us. My team and I built this channel so we could give you some information, start the conversation, and then help you with the home purchase or home selling process here in the area. So if you're thinking about making a move, you can reach out to us. You can give us a call. You can shoot us a text. You can send an email, or you can even click down into the description below. You can schedule a one-on-one Zoom consultation with a member of my team. We'll hop on a Zoom call, we'll walk through things with you, explain the process, answer any questions you have, and help you decide if this is the right area for you to call home. So please reach out to us if you're considering making that move. We would love to hear from you. We'd love to help you with the process. Thank you so much for tuning in today. We'll see you next time.